if you want to become a data analyst, don't make this mistake. Don't waste your time trying to learn every Excel formula that you see, because real data analysts don't use hundreds of formulas every day. Instead, they have a set of formulas that they use again and again in their work. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 formulas that every data analyst uses. So let's start. The first formula is SUM. So it is very simple, but it is very important. SUM is just used to add numbers together. So for example, here we have items and then we want to find out the total sales of it. So we can use SUM formula to find out. Here we have it. So just like this, if you want to find out total sales, total profit, total quantity, total cost, then you can use this SUM formula in Microsoft Excel. Now this may sound very basic, but almost every analysis starts here. The second formula is average. So you can use average to find out the mean of a group of numbers. For example, here we have the students and their scores. So what we want to find out? We want to find out the average of the scores among these students. So we can use the average formula here. Now you can see that we have the average score of students. So why this average formula is very important? Because totals do not always give you the full story. So that's why you have to use average. Let's suppose you have a sales data and the total sales is very strong, but the average sale per customer is very weak. So that's how you can find insights from your data using average. The next formula is F. So this is one of the most useful formulas in Microsoft Excel. So what it does actually, you give a logic, you give a condition to your formula, and based on that logic or condition, you will get back something. For example, here we have products, then we have sales. So what we do is we use the F function here to see if the sales are greater than or equal to 1000. If this condition is true, then we will get high. If this condition is false, then we will get low. So let's see. Here 800 is less than 1000, so we get low. Now let's copy this formula and paste it here. So here we have high because as you can see, 1200 is greater than 1000. So the condition here is true. So what we get is high. So basically we can say that F formula is very important and very useful when you want to turn numbers into categories. For example, high sales or low sales. For example, profit or loss, good performance or poor performance. So that's why F formula is very important. The next formula is COUNTIF. So COUNTIF is also very important. Why? Because we can set a condition and based on that condition, we can count rows. So for example, here we have tasks and in the next column, we have the status. So what we want to do is we want to find out the number of completed tasks. So with the help of COUNTIF function, we can find this. So here we have COUNTIF. Let's see, from P2 to B6, it will count the tasks. If they're completed, then it will return as the count of it. So here we have 3, 1, 2, and 3. So basically we can use COUNTIF to count rows based on a condition, right? So in the data analysis, where can we use this formula? For example, to answer questions like how many orders were completed, how many employees hit their target, or how many products are out of stock. These are kind of the questions that we can find the answer with the help of this formula. Now let's go to the next formula, which is SUMIF. SUMIF is kind of similar to COUNTIF, but the only difference is that we set a condition here, and then based on that condition, we add numbers together because we use sum here, right? So let's go and see how we can use it. Here, for example, we have region, and here we have sales. With the help of SUMIF function, we can find out total sales per region. For example, if we want only for one region, here, for example, we want for East region, the total sales. So we can use SUMIF. We specify the range, which range it should go and check. Here it will check from A2 to A6. If there is any East value, then it will go to the next range, which is B2 to B6, which is sales, and it will add those numbers together. So here we have it. The next function is XLOOKUP. So XLOOKUP is one of the most important and useful formulas in Microsoft Excel. If you're still using VLOOKUP, then you should definitely learn XLOOKUP. So what does this formula do? For example, here we have products and here we have prices. What we want to do is to find out the exact price of a certain product ID. Okay, so with the help of XLOOKUP formula, we can find out. Here we have XLOOKUP formula, and we want to find out from ID of P003, which is here, and we want to find out the price of it. So with the help of XLOOKUP, we can do this. Here we have the lookup value, which is P001. This is the value that it will look in our data. Then here we have the lookup array. This is the lookup array. This is the range of the data that it will go and look for that specific ID number. Then here we have the return array. Return array is the array or the range that it will return the value for us from it. And then we have the if not found parameter here. So suppose that we don't have this ID number, or this formula couldn't find that ID number in our data set. So what it will do, it will return not found, or whatever that we write down here for us. Hit the enter key and see. So here we have 18. Now we can see that product ID P003 have 18 in the price column. Okay, this formula is extremely helpful when you have your data split across multiple tables. For example, let's suppose you have customer ID in one table and customer name in another table. So what you want to do is to find out the customer name of a specific customer ID. So you can use XLOOKUP to find out. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.